Hey guys, Gab here. Welcome to my Facebook Live um, book signing. You may or may not hear my child screaming or anyone else that's here with us doing all sorts of stuff. But I just wanted to kick this off by just thanking everyone for showing up and just kind of being here as we kind of release this book into the world. And I'm just really grateful and humbled and excited. Um, so a lot of people have asked what my inspiration was to write the book, and I was inspired by a few things, but mainly wanting to put a happier ending on the story than just and here's my baby. Because there's a lot of us who've been on this journey to motherhood and journey to family creating or family expanding that has been brutal and very painful and very heartbreaking. And this book is just a love letter to everyone who's waited a long time for their special little person or older person to join their party that is their life. So that was the main inspiration when I initially set out to do it. And then throughout the course of like the year of working on it, I started thinking about my mom. And I was thinking, my mom at 60 years old adopted her first child, 61 adopted her second child, a few years later adopted her third child. And at 73, my mom is a single mom, raising a teen and preteens. And there's very little literature, certainly not children's literature, that talks about our family. We raise our nephew son, and we've been raising our nephew son. We call him our nephew and our son for 10 years, 12 years. And there's no legal thing, and a lot of families are like that. You raise the children that need to be raised. You just love them all, and there's nothing that really explains that, though. Family needs an explanation. I just wanted people to be able to feel free to celebrate their family. And a lot of times people will shame you, or they'll have a lot of unnecessary commentary about your family. And I wanted people to feel proud about however you family, you are welcome and you are loved and you are celebrated at the party that you create called life. Also, really understanding chosen families. There's a lot of people who we're not blessed with the most amazing families by birth. And over time, they have found their own families. And a lot of people might be older teens or adults who, for the first time, have found people that love them unconditionally and exactly as they are. And so this is also for every member of a family that just wants to know that they're welcome and loved and celebrated. And it doesn't have to match everybody else's journey for it to be real or valid or amazing. So this is a bit of a celebration for all of us. Yay. My little sister is here, Tracy, who's
Hi.
been quarantining with us.
Hey, y'all.
That's my little sister. So she's going to be taking your questions and reading them off to me while I sign copies of Welcome to the Party. So what's the first question, Trace?
All right. We have from Reading, Pennsylvania, Nadira asked, and I hope I didn't butcher your name, what do you enjoy most about being a mommy?
Ooh, well, I was a mom for a very long time. And having Kav, a lot of things that I didn't always understand, a lot of sacrifices that my mom made that I did not understand, a lot of decisions that a lot of adults made I didn't understand until I had to start making them. And all the times I was like, "You're so dumb, mom." It's a little different when it's coming back to you. So what I love is the camaraderie and the community that exists, especially of the moms that get it and aren't competitive parenting and all that good stuff, and who aren't mom shaming, who are just really there for each other. That's been such a blessing. And everyone, the goal is never to make anyone feel like you're on an island by yourself and no one could possibly understand. And so every time somebody reaches out, and whether that's a stranger at Target or the grocery store or whatever who's just like, girl, you got it. I'm trying. Or, you know, my mom friends. It's good to be a part of a community that wants to understand you and give you support. And that's been awesome. And I also understand my mama a lot better. And I'm sorry, Teresa. I don't call my mom by her first name. I'm not that jackass, but that is her name for you guys. Teresa. Next question, Trace.
Next question is from Houston, Texas.
Hey, Houston.
Stacy asks, what's the funniest thing that Miss Kaavia does?
What is
have enough time.
Yeah, exactly. What is the funniest thing? She does a lot of funny things. What is her funny thing this week?
Her aggressive buys.
Oh, yeah. So she learned how to say bye pretty quickly, though she's not one to do anything on command. She's like, I'm not your dancing monkey. But this week she's gotten into saying bye really aggressively. So she's like, bye. And you're like, oh, really feeling that when you really want me to go. Okay. Like she just went up for her nap. And as she was walking up the stairs, she was like, bye. I was like, so that's been pretty funny. We've gotten a little chuckle out of that this week. She's also not really big on clothes for a while during this pandemic, which not funny to others because, you know, you read all the commentary. Why doesn't she have clothes on? She doesn't want them on. And some days we're not going to fight her. Guess what? Life goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So from Inglewood,
hey,
California,
Inglewood.
Obviously, Sequoia. How are you able to balance it all, being a mom, a wife, an actress, and so many more hats and titles you wear or have?
I don't balance it all.
Oh my God, you're human?
No. Yeah, that's always a really interesting question. And when people ask me in the media, I always say, until you start asking my husband that same question, I'm not going to answer it. Because we assume that men aren't going to have any balance. And if they bring home a check and that check clears, that's balanced enough for everybody. But what happens when everybody's contributing? So I'm the only one who's supposed to be 1,000 things and balance them all perfectly and be this weird, perfect Stepford, you know, person. No. So the reality is there is not a ton of balance. Anytime I'm 100% with Kav, that means there's no hours in the day for anything else. So some days I'm going to hit it out of the park at work and I'm going to be amazing as an actor, and every other part of my life is just going to have to understand that I'm going to do the best I can as I can. And if you really, truly mess with me, that's going to be okay. Part of that lack of balance is eliminating a lot of unnecessary toxic people. The people who are just sort of sitting around waiting for you to fail and waiting for you to mess up and kind of hoping that you mess up, and they had to go. They had to go a long time ago. So, and also kind of saying no, creating boundaries. I got real comfortable saying no, and stopped worrying that if I say no and create a boundary for myself, that helps in my sanity, because I can't be all things to all people and nothing to me. So I had to start creating boundaries, which is hard because it feels like telling somebody no means they may not love you the same, or they may not invite you to the same stuff, or they may not mess with you in the same way. But they're actually doing you a favor, because anyone who feels that way should have some boundaries anyway. So the real balance is there is no balance, and I just hope people understand that.
Okay. Dominique from Buffalo, New York
asked, Dominique,
what inspired you to write a book? She didn't say this book, but to write a book. So you kind of touched on that.
So what inspired me to write We're Gonna Need More Wine, as well as Welcome to the Party, is just creating more community of just creating a larger island for people, so they feel seen. And is that Miss Zaya making an appearance? That's Zaya. Taking a break from homeschooling. Yeah, no, just if you have information and stories or resources or anything that you can offer to other people in a way that makes them feel seen, and you can offer help or encouragement or inspiration, and you don't share it, you're actually an asshole. So I share these stories just to try to have more of a connection and more of a sense of community. Yeah, that's really the main inspiration for writing books. And I've also been such a psychotic fan of words and books and libraries and bookstores my whole life, and I just want to be a part of that community.
Okay. So I might really struggle through this name, so I apologize in advance.
Okay, where are they from?
Shirts, Texas.
Shirts, Texas.
I had never heard of Shirts, Texas.
Hey, Shirts.
Tangenia.
I'm not going to mispronounce it. I'm just going to let my sister struggle. Go ahead. What?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just say, hey, T, from Shirts, Texas.
From Shirts, Texas.
This is not actually a question, but a very heartfelt shout out. Oh. After 7 years of doing IVF, I am finally pregnant at the age of 47. Yes. I am due in May. It's God. May now. I just want to thank you for your dedication and sharing your truth.
Oh, congratulations, girl. I know. And I'm emotional now too, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and I have so many friends who shall remain nameless that may be on this Facebook live that we're so close to the end of their journey, and we're just didn't have a lot of hope left, and we're like, okay, one more try, and it was the try. It was their miracle. So congratulations. Yay. I'm so happy for you, girl. I know. And I'm just really happy for you. And for everyone out there that has been on this journey, who is struggling physically, because nobody talks about the physical toll enough, the emotional toll, the financial toll. This shit is not cheap. I know a lot of my friends went into debt, spent all the savings, in the hope. A lot of people don't understand because it seems so easy for everybody, and it's not always that easy. So I thank you for sharing good news.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you, and congratulations.
Any day now.
Welcome to the party.
All right, we have Leah.
Hey, Leah.
From Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Okay. It appears you moved from one great achievement to another. How do you maintain that momentum? And she so loves and admires you.
Thank you. The reality is I'm 47 and I've been at this for 25 years, and I'm a cusser, guys. I'm sorry. But I've gone from it girl to shit girl more times than I can count. And the fact that I'm just now getting opportunities that people swore up and down I would get in my 20s, there's no rhyme or reason of when it's your time or what it's going to look like. So it feels like momentum right now. It's been a great few years. So if you're in your 20s or in your 30s and you're like, if I didn't make it by now, I'm a failure, or I'm a this or whatever. We talk about this a lot, me and my sister. We're just getting started, and the best you is yet to come. And while it feels very good to have other people validating you, it really felt like the second I made peace with who I am on my terms, the world opened up. And I'm also not gonna leave out vision boards. And honestly, I save all my vision boards. So much of what I put out into the universe came to pass, and not always in the way I thought, but in the best way in the way that my soul needed, if that makes sense. Not always. My business manager might have been like, can we be more specific, please, what you put on your vision board? When I started adding to my vision board, I didn't want any opportunity or person or job or relationship or friendship to come into my life that affects my joy, my peace, and my grace. That's what came in. And every time I'm like, ooh, but that check looks really good, and I prioritize the check or what it's going to look like or the momentum, I have lived to regret it. So it's just been reminders from the universe to let my soul lead. Not always my just as Black entertainers, and as Black folks, period, and as marginalized people and as women, we're always told to be grateful for whatever, and they'll tell you that it's this massive, buffet, and really it's like crumbs, and so you just get excited for anything. Anytime someone chooses you, oof, that's a whole nother thing. Anytime someone chooses you, whether that be for a romantic relationship or a job or an opportunity, we're just supposed to be grateful and ask no other questions. And the reality is, for me now, if it affects my soul and I can't sleep and I can't look people in the eye, and it's making me somebody that I'm not, or taking me back down a road that I'm not proud of, it's not for me. Felt like that was a really long-winded answer,
but it was solid.
Hopefully I answered your question.
Okay, thank you for that one. Okay, next we have Sierra.
Hey, Sierra.
She's from Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn.
What would you say is the most rewarding thing about motherhood for you?
The most rewarding thing, especially during this time of just being able to be at home and being able to physically see all the little changes, just knowing that what you put in, you get out, and it's kind of wild, like the little small things, like today, her saying purple. Today, that is really rewarding and made me cry. But sometimes it's when I wake up and I walk into the kitchen. Obviously, I look like who done it and why, and she's like, and she runs and she hugs me, and now she does this patting on the back thing, and that feels like the best thing ever.
Okay, we have Chauncey.
Chauncey or Chauncey?
Oh, maybe it is Chauncey.
Where's she from?
Philadelphia.
Hey,
Chauncey?
Looks like Chauncey.
Okay.
Hey, Chauncey from Philly, what's good?
Okay. How did you prepare your children for the new baby? And did they have any adjustments to having and or sharing your attention, even with the age difference?
It's a great question. Because my fertility journey was so long, all of the kids saw me getting the shots and saw they were there, me leaving to go get my eggs retrieved or coming home from a retrieval, or they saw every step. Just the fact that we had those needle, anyone who's been through IVF, those red needle receptacles, around, it was just a reminder of how long that journey is and what it was taking. So everyone was so invested for so long, and then there were so many heartbreaks, and we had to stop sharing with them early after the first miscarriage, because dealing with that yourself is brutal, with your significant other is brutal, but managing the expectations of children who wrap their brains around baby and then no baby. So by the time Kav was coming, and we felt solid about where our surrogate's health was, and the where the pregnancy was, we shared with the older kids. We didn't tell Zaya until closer to when Kav was born, only because she can't hold water. And we had to try to keep it a secret for as long as possible, because people are crazy, as we can all see. And the adjustment has been beautiful. I mean, partly because they're older and they know the road. And so I think everyone was relieved and grateful, and that's just sort of has carried through. They might have a different answer. If Zaya walks back through here, we can ask her. But yeah, they're awesome. And it just feels like everybody's heart bursts with her, because everyone's heart broke throughout that journey. So it just is just a lot of gratitude.
Okay. Claudette.
Hey, Claudette.
Hey, Claudette.
Where's she from?
Corona.
Corona. Hey.
Now that you have your beautiful princess, will you have any more?
Oh, goodness. Listen, every time
I don't think the family's ready.
Listen, the family is like, no, ma'am, stop. Yeah, every time she does something amazing or she smiles at me or she pats my back, I'm like, yeah. And then she'll have some celery juice with the rest of us and her bowels explode. And I'm like, I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay. James from New York.
Hey.
Any advice for twins?
No. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine because I don't have any experience with this. I was actually talking about this earlier today with an unrelated topic, but I feel like it still holds. Um, don't take advice from people who have not done what you're trying to do. Um, and I've never dealt with twins outside of like waving to them in the mall. Yeah. Do your best.
Buena suerte.
That's Tracy. Bueno suerte. Yeah, I have no idea. And I strongly discourage all of you from taking advice from people who have no damn clue. And you just don't know when to say, I don't have the answer.
All right. Lindsay from Helena, Montana.
Hey, Lindsay from Helena, Montana.
Hi, Gabrielle.
Hey.
I feel that's how she said it because it's exclamation point. What trait of yours has most helped you get to where you are today?
Oh, what trait? Being competitive has helped. I was just doing the Jimmy Fallon show, and me and Questlove were on a team versus the other folks, and I was very competitive. Um, so, but more, you know what actually fueled and there's Scott. What fueled my competition is a fear of failure, which I'm working through still in therapy, but that fear, and I try not to do things out of fear. But in all fairness, my fear of failing, certainly failing publicly, has motivated me my whole life. I'm trying to find other motivations that aren't maybe so problematic, but that has, to be truthful, that's really what it boils down to. So I think I'm competitive out of a fear of like losing or so if you're out there playing words with friends, you know what I mean. I also talk shit with words with friends. So I'm still competitive, sorry.
All right. From Waxhaw, North Carolina.
Oh, hey.
Zanitra.
Hey, girl.
I hope that's how you say it. After so many years of parenting young men, has your parenting style changed since having a daughter?
Yes. Instead of thinking about what I can teach her to keep her safe, I want to raise unproblematic young men. I'd rather police their behavior than try to have her shapeshift to kind of what's the word? Deal with toxic masculinity and misogyny and patriarchy and all that. Really re-examining my thought about gender norms and yeah, but it's really more I want her to be free, and part of being free is not putting things on her that really should be other people's work. Yeah, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. From Lauderdale Lakes, Florida, Vilma. Where did you get the idea to write? Is this your first book, and how long did it take to write it?
So this is my first children's book. It took about a year to, from start to finish, from idea to, oh my God, there's an actual book. Between trying to find the right illustrator, wanting to be surrounded by women who innately understand this journey, and making sure all those women were on this particular team was really important to me. And so it took a little longer to make sure the team was right. And then writing a children's book that is covering or opening up the conversation about the creation or the expansion of non-traditional families. using, my journey and, with Kav and our family's journey with Kav as sort of the example. That was challenging because it's like we wanted to do a book about surrogacy, but it's a really challenging concept because even my dad doesn't quite get it. Explaining that to kids. So it was about creating a children's book that showed images of a family eagerly waiting the arrival of their newest member in a non-traditional way. So you don't see like what we see with a lot of kids books is an expectant mom, and then the expectant mom goes to the hospital, and then the hospital, and the baby and the mom come home, and the family's waiting. We wanted to just show different images because that's the reality for a lot of us who are building families in a non-traditional way, where kids arrive, whether that be through adoption, foster care, the informal bonds, chosen families, and in our case, surrogacy. And it just creating the images and the language to have conversations that the little guys can to understand. And you could start to introduce these concepts to the kids.
Okay, from Tolleson, Arizona, Veronica asks,
hey,
what's the best quote you ever received when you became a mother?
It's like the best quote.
I feel like
I've heard of a lot of quotes. My brain is like a little fried. I don't know why the quote from mom is
what is it?
Shit bastard. To this day, I don't really know
what that means.
What it means. Mom, if you're on here, feel free to chime in. Aunt Katie, if you're on here, Aunt Joanne, any of my aunts, Chelsea, I see my niece is on here. Feel free to chime in about what Mom, Grammy, meant by shit bastard. But to me, I say it randomly because it feels like it's an all-encompassing catch-all phrase for all of life's little injustices. Shit bastard.
All right.
Yeah, and Kelly, if my sister is on here, my older sister Kelly, it was something she told me years ago when our poodle Snuggles died, and I was destroyed, and she was like, "Snuggles is dead. Now what?" Felt harsh at the time, but it's basically like bad things happen to good people all the time. What are you gonna do now? And I'd say don't sweat the small stuff, but Snuggles dying was a big thing. Kelly, if you're in here.
All right. From Rocky Mount, North Carolina,
Hey.
Anita asks,
Hi,
what
Anita.
is the hardest part of being a parent?
Ooh, the hardest part of being a parent is apologizing. And if my mother is on here or any of my relatives, yeah, I mess up all the time. And going to your kids and being like, my bad, I am sorry, I got that horribly wrong, bad call, my part. Because I think a lot of us grew up with parents who never apologized, and we're still holding on to things that that you just knew, your parents were wrong about, and they just refused to acknowledge your rightness. So as a parent, in those moments, you're like, if I apologize, am I giving away my power? Am I eroding my space as a parent? Are they not going to listen to me if I acknowledge, bad behavior or making a mistake? And the reality is, from what I've seen, every time I apologize, I feel like they respect me and trust me more. Again, if Zaya walks through here, she may have a different
She's not going to walk through here again.
Yeah.
Okay. Another city in Texas I've never heard of. Weslaco?
Weslaco, are we saying that right? In
Beatrice,
Texas?
let us know.
Hey, Beatrice.
What keeps you going each and every day?
What keeps me going? I mean, some days I don't go. I just don't. And I'm like, babe, it's on you. Take it. I can't. I don't have it. At this stage in my life, what makes me so happy is creating jobs and opportunities for other people and making sure people get paid and making sure their talent is seen. My production company it's called I'll Have Another. Do you see a theme here? And I feel better and more successful when we've sold someone's dream and allowed that dream to come to pass, or at least get on the process of having that dream come to pass and get on screen. That feels better than anything else from a work standpoint. But otherwise, it's my family. You know, I want them to be proud of me.
Oh, we are proud. Okay. From Chicago.
Hey.
In all caps. So
Chicago.
All right.
Hey.
Jamila, how are you handling motherhood during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Some days are better than others, to be honest, because what I love about this time is that I'm getting to spend a lot of time with my family. What is challenging about this time is that I also have 1,100 jobs that everyone has unrealistic expectations about. And I'm here with my family in this lovely open concept house, which sounds great on House Hunters International, not so great in real life during a pandemic because you can hear everything. So yeah, it's a challenge. And some days are better than others, and I'm successful some days and not so much others. And some days I hide in the bathroom and I claim gastrointestinal issues. Feel free to take that for yourself.
Okay. From, is it Joliet, Illinois?
Yes, Joliet.
Okay.
Joliet.
Okay. Dominique is coming to you.
It's the place where they play I think the state
What?
championship games for Chicago high school basketball, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Feel free to correct me.
Okay.
But I think it's Joliet.
Joliet.
Okay.
I've seen it just like on paper, but never.
Yeah.
Another first-time mom, July
Hey, girl.
1st due date.
Congratulations.
Any advice or words of wisdom?
Be okay with not being okay. Be okay with doing the best that you can in any given situation. We're in a global pandemic, and the information changes every day. The rules seem to change every day, and what you know, your how you feel is going to change every day, and your hormones and all of that good stuff. And it's okay if you don't have all the answers and you don't feel, you know, your best all the time, and just do the best that you can, and do not fall prey to mommy shamers or competitive parents. The competitive parenting thing. Ooh. Well, my baby knows how to do the whole alphabet and can drive a car, and she's, you know, 17 months. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
Next.
Okay. From Olympia Fields, Illinois,
Hey.
we have Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
How is writing this book different from writing We're Going to Need More Wine?
Well, I didn't need as much wine, but you know, it was different goals. I think for We're Going to Need More Wine, I wrote it like I speak, so it all feels like a conversation, you know, that you were having with me if you stumble across me at your local Applebee's, which is a solid chance. I just wanted it to feel conversational. I didn't want to use all my SAT words. I just wanted to write like I speak, and I wanted people to feel, to really feel me, not, oh, I'm so impressed. Like, I wanted you to feel like you walk away knowing who I am. And this book, it was just about creating more community and creating the images and the space for conversations with families.
Okay. From New Rochelle, Yvonne.
Hi, Yvonne.
What did you learn about yourself on writing this book?
Oh, it's what I learned about writing. What I learned about myself writing this book is, like all my new challenges, I don't know a damn thing. I don't. And thank God I have gotten over that stage of life where I have to pretend like I have all the answers and I know everything, and I just fail miserably because I'm too embarrassed or too prideful to admit I don't know something. So I have surrounded myself with way more intelligent folks, people who have all the experience and history of success, and just people that I feel like can make me a better writer, content creator, creative artist, mother, wife, sister. Um, you know, all of it. Just humility is key because I don't have all the answers. Never have. Didn't always admit that. But it's true.
But you're evolving every day.
Thanks, Trace.
You are. We all are. Okay. Oh, right here from LA.
Hey,
Elisa.
Hey, Elisa.
We got a nice little shout out.
Hey.
I appreciate you in this story. I volunteer with kids at my spiritual center and cannot wait to read this to them. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Dwayne are amazing. So grateful and thankful.
Oh, thank you.
Lisa, girl. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So nice. Okay, the next question comes from Houston, Texas.
And they can ask any other questions. I feel like you're maybe, are you avoiding like the mean questions to save my heart?
No, I'm just going in order. I just got a crash course on to use this thing like 3 seconds before you went live, so I'm not trying to get fancy with it. So Bridget from Houston, Texas, what inspired you to write this book?
Great, Tracy, we've covered this.
No, hold on, there's more. How can you inspire others who have gone your route to look at this in a way of having a baby as being positive?
Well, anytime life gives you a hard road, and at the end of that road there is some light, that light is positive. So whether that's a baby or an evolution, spiritual, physical, mental evolution, whether that's a job, so many of us have seen the devil up close and slow dragged. So all light is positive. And certainly a baby would be a part of that positivity.
Oof. All right, here's a tough one. Connors, Georgia.
Hi, Connors, Georgia.
I really don't know. Chalet? What advice do you have for someone like me who suffers from PCOS and may never be able to conceive?
Yes. It's hitting very close to home. The advice is there will come a point where you either try everything that the world has that you can try, and what happens is really out of our control, and there's only so much that you can control. It's one of those things that as human beings, and as certainly as people who want motherhood so badly, we will do anything, no matter what, no matter how much it costs, no matter what it does to our bodies, no matter what it does to our relationships, no matter what it does to our mental health. And the unfortunate part is, for a lot of us who have gone through a very long fertility journey, who have struggled with, for me, it's adenomyosis, for, it's, PCOS, it's endometriosis, it's fibroids, it's the mystery of pregnancy. There's not a baby at the end, and it sucks, and it's heartbreaking, and a lot of people I know are dealing with it, and I don't know, I can't say that it's something that you'll be able to put a bandage on. You have to find the light within, and the other parts of you that are beautiful and amazing, that are not affected in any way by your ability to have a baby or your inability to have a baby, and reminding yourself of that every day, no matter how many times a day it takes, because that shit is hard. It's brutal. It's brutal. But you are so much more than your ability to create, and you as a human being are not defined by that ability. or inability. You're amazing and dope as hell and worthy of joy and peace and grace and compassion, no matter what.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to take this break because this is getting deep. All right. Because nobody understands this. It
Probably can't quite understand it until you're going through it yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm hoping you can hear my little sister.
I'm putting some nuggets over here on the side. All right. From Novi, Michigan.
Yes.
Rhonda asks, how do you split the duties of parenting with your husband?
Oh, I split it with everyone that's in this house right now. And there's 4 adults. And look.
Village.
It takes a village. And I'm
Ain't
like,
no lie.
Listen, and especially in the beginning, because D is the OG parent here. So he's been a parent literally the entire time he's been an adult. So I had to defer to him, especially in the beginning, and to all of our child care providers and family members and friends and everybody who pitches in. Not gonna lie, there's been times where the dogs perhaps watched her for a second. Because mama needs to pee. But yeah, I would say I lean on the village, but we shot past that a long time ago. This is a group project and all hands on deck. And I have zero shame about that.
As you should. You kind of touched on this a little bit when you mentioned faking your GI problems, but how do you handle self-care while being a mother? Jessica from Evans, West Virginia finds herself struggling a bit, especially during quarantine.
Yeah, because you can't go anywhere. There's nowhere to go. So I'm going to try to take, we have a group chat with my friends who are all over the place, and we do Zooms and stuff like that. We vent, we talk cash shit, we hide in the bathroom, and in other interviews called meditation. I'm not meditating. I'm like, I need a minute. I just need a second. I just need to play a little words with friends, decompress, and I can enter back into the world. But I used to go get those little foot reflexology. I would go to bookstores. I would go work out. Just finding anything that gives you a moment of peace and to be able to decompress, pray, meditate, take a minute. A gastrointestinal issue. It's hard because it's like depending on how many people you're quarantining with and your space. A lot of people just don't have the luxury of even going to sit in a car, which my friends are doing. We're on to you, sister. You don't need to go to Target that many times. Some people take a drive, take a walk. And as I say, I can't be a good mom until I know I'm good to myself, and that doesn't mean mama needs all the food or all the stuff or all the whatever, but I need to recognize when my mental health or my sanity or my spirit is screaming for help, and to answer the call by any means necessary.
All right, we got a shout out and then another question from Dallas, Georgia.
Georgia. Ooh, nice little misdirection. Dallas, Georgia.
That's why I had to give the state as well. Hey, Gabby, I'd love an invite to your next party you have. They are too live. I love to dance too and love that energy.
Thank you.
Huge longtime fan. Just sending you love and light.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. You are doing great. XO.
You're going to see a lot of tears and probably a little snot. I'm sorry, you guys. You guys are making me very happy right now, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
All right. I like this question a lot. If you could give your younger self 3 pieces of advice, what would it be? Or what would they be?
A break's not going to kill you. You don't have to. It's okay to ask for help. I don't know is actually an answer. What else?
You were just going shot way past 3.
Oh, is that
is it 3?
Oh,
it's okay. I think you should
I learned a lot.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a perfect piggyback. This next one. What is your best life lesson to date? Because you got a lot of life left to live. So.
Oh, what is my best life lesson to date? I mean,
Use a
usually I
lot.
say this with a lot of cuss words, but if you imagine this as a basket, this basket of F's is empty. I emptied it out a few years ago. You get on this rat race and you think, and they tell you if you are just perfect enough, if you're the model minority, if you just speak the Queen's English, if you just are this size, if you just have this many accomplishments, if you just do this, then life is going to be great. And the American dream is open to you. And I did all those things. And then I was sexually assaulted. And it was like, oh, but wait, part of the biggest thing that I had to get over is this idea that being perfect is somehow going to make you, it's going to make you immune to hardship or trauma or pain. Not true. And then I started getting onto this idea that if I'm just excellent, Black excellence, I wasn't excellent enough. I have to be excellent. I have to fully subscribe to respectability politics and fully assimilate into what? Now, whatever it is that I do, I want it to feed my soul, bring me joy, bring me peace, and allow for grace. If I feel the need to cuss you out and read you for filth, probably not the best relationship or work environment. I just emptied that basket and freed myself, and I just want to be the best me I can be for me. And also recognizing that I was born worthy. It's not what you do and who you become and how many unreachable standards you surpass. And that's what makes you worthy and deserving of protection, of love, of grace, of compassion. You were worthy of all of those things from birth.
All right. Miss Erica from Houston, Texas.
Erica from Houston, Texas.
What do you do as hobbies with your family? And what do you do to relieve stress?
Well, yesterday we made up some dances to Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. We made up dances. We dance a lot, kind of as a family. We listen to music. Right now, like the hobby is kind of a little challenging because you can't leave. I read. I love words and I love books. I play words with friends. Sometimes I play with my family members. We work out as a family. I don't know if you see if you download the Fit On app. Dwayne trains me and my little sister that you guys met, and was like psychotic trainer, and it's just me and my little sister talking cash shit in the background in the driveway. But yeah, it's hard because it's like my normal hobbies are I can't really do them. Like we like we like riding bikes, we like taking walks, we like sitting out on somebody's patio with some strong cocktails. I don't know if that's a hobby, but I do it a lot.
And it relieves stress. Okay, so next, I'd love your take. Catherine from Minneapolis.
Hey, Catherine from Minneapolis.
How are you and your family holding up during the pandemic? What do you think, Nick?
Well, I can give my version, and maybe Tracy can chime in and be like, she's totally lying. I have not spent this much time in my home and with my family ever, probably.
I mean,
probably ever in life. I've never been anywhere with this many people in one space ever. Yeah, we didn't have this many family members physically on our house. Yeah. So it was so it has been a challenge. It has been a challenge to kind of figure out your space and find your corners of the quarantine to, but it's good because I'm actually getting to know, my family in a way that I wouldn't normally know them, in a more unedited way. I think we tend, by the time we get home or before we leave, we're putting forth our representative faces, not our real faces necessarily. So just really getting to know our kids, getting to know each other. I mean, me and Tracy had a conversation that was about 25 years in the making, and we had that the other day. Yeah. So Trace?
Just full of surprises in the pandemic.
Tracy, do you want to say something? No, I mean, it's a safe space, right, guys?
I can tell there's no judgment.
There's no judgment.
At all. I would agree that spending this much time with each other has been eye-opening.
Oh, eye-opening.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a very positive way. Yeah. I feel like I'm growing as a person in this pandemic. Okay. And I feel like I'm just getting a lot of great insight into my family members as well. So okay. I'm really choosing to look for positivity and silver linings instead of being like, well, this fucking sucks because I can't do this. Oh, I cussed too, guys. Sorry, not sorry. Actually,
our mom is like, shit, bastard.
There it is. Full circle.
Use it however you like, because it's never really made any sense.
It comes in handy. But yeah, I think we're doing great, actually, all things considered. All right. So this is actually not really about the book, but I think people are interested.
You can ask whatever you like.
What does your future in TV and film look like? Any new projects we can look forward to watching you in?
Glad you asked. Yes, so we have season 2 of LA's Finest coming out June 8th, I think it is, with me and Jessica Alba. Season 1 is available on iTunes, finally.
Oh, yay.
And there's a few other things that are coming that hopefully we'll be able to announce very quickly. Awesome things. Passion projects that I'm really excited about. The production company has sold a lot of projects, a lot of hard-fought projects that I'm really, really excited about, and introducing the world to so many amazing creatives that have just not had a real shot, a fair shot. I'm about that. And I started writing during this pandemic the follow-up to We're Gonna Need More Wine.
Boom.
Yeah.
Busy. All right. It looks like we're going to be getting close to wrapping up soon.
Okay.
But I'd like to, I enjoy this story. So I'm going to ask this question. Okay. How did you get started in acting?
Oh, good question. I was working at the bookstore at UCLA. I was a book buyback supervisor. So, at the end of the quarter or the semester, you go to sell your books back, and you think that you're going to get all of this money. And I would be the person who's like, no, that book that you spent $75 for is now worth $1.50. So that was my job. And I was making $6.16 an hour after 3 raises and glowing evaluations. And I got an internship at a modeling agency because I thought it would be easy, because full disclosure, did not think Hollywood folk were that challenging to work with. And I was taking 20 units and wanted 4 units for this internship. So I found what I thought would be the easiest internship that they offered. And I got this internship at a modeling agency. And when my internship ended, they asked if I would be interested in being one of their clients. And I was like, how much does it pay? Because I'm making a lot of money at the bookstore. $6.16 an hour. Can you top that? And the first go-see I got sent on as a model, I ended up booking, and definitely was like, oh, an LA model, 5'7.5". I'm basically Naomi Campbell. And I made I think it was $125 for the day. And I was like, I'm rich, bitch. So I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm so glad I'm doing this, but I'm not giving up my job at the bookstore. And then my first audition that I got for acting was Saved by the Bell, the new class. I was Mistletoe Girl #2. And I've always had a love of the oral interpretation of literature, because I'm kind of a dork, because I love words. And so I have a photographic memory. So looking at these sides, it was like a scene with, I don't know, Screech or whoever. Not the most challenging stuff. If I can memorize Shakespeare, I could do Saved by the Bell. And I did. And I booked my first audition, and I had a fake resume. And so from there, it was like, well, with every audition that you book, we'll take a fake thing off. And eventually we took all the fake things off, and I just kept working. But I came into the business at a time when there were a ton of teen shows that were not that challenging. So it was not, I wasn't doing Shakespeare in the Park or anything like that. So it gave me the space to suck and to try to get better and to learn, and eventually, but I still did not want to give up my job at the bookstore, and I didn't, because that was my real gig. And yeah, and eventually I just was like, let me just give this a try. And when if I have to, you know, borrow from my parents, I will stop. And it just hadn't happened.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to let everybody know where they can get signed copies of your book?
Oh, you can get, is that,
Let's see if it's
what is it?
premiercollectibles.com.
/welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can get signed copies of my book at Premier Collection.
Collectibles.
I'm sorry, premiercollectibles.com /welcome.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these signed copies that I've signed today will be available. And I've signed 10,000. So they're out there. And I just, please go pick up your copy, pick up a copy for you, family members. It's all about starting the conversation and celebrating families, all different kinds of families. So no matter how you family, we celebrate you and we love you and we appreciate you and we see you.
Absolutely.
Are there any more questions, or do I have to stop now?
You've got 5 more minutes.
Oh, I got 5 more minutes.
Yeah,
Okay, so
these questions you already answered, really.
Okay, well,
so
Tracy, why don't you ask me some questions?
Oh, okay. I get to interview my sister. Oh, I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
Here's something, because I love to eat a lot. I love
Mhm.
food. I'm always thinking about food. So I'd like to know, what is your favorite thing that you like to make for yourself?
I like to make for myself candied ham.
I don't believe I've ever had your candied ham.
You have not had my candied ham because they don't let me in the kitchen that often.
It's true. That's true.
It's facts. It's just how it kind of works. But yeah, so I if Aunt Katie is on here, I'm sure is Aunt Katie on here? How do we find out if Aunt Katie's on here? It's my Aunt Katie's recipe. Aunt
Katie makes so many good things.
She makes so many great things. We love my Aunt Katie, and it was just her birthday. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Hey, Aunt Katie. But it involves soda.
Like,
Soda
is it
and
Coke or something?
Coke. Well, I use Coke.
Okay.
Coke and brown sugar, and I started experimenting with spicy mustard in there.
Not so much.
I kind of rather add it at the end. But yeah, candied ham, and not the one with the bone in. I don't like that.
Oh, these are
Don't
the things.
like that.
These
I
are
like
the
to buy
details.
the honey baked and then do
zhuzh it up.
zhuzh it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I also like
That's
making my
solid.
own cupcakes and my own bacon. Not that I haven't loved your bacon when you've been cooking it for me, Tracy.
Okay, let's see. Actually, I did make that delicious, like, candied bacon.
Yes, you
That
did.
was
Yes,
okay,
you did.
Listen, we
And
love
I appreciated
swine.
that.
We are pork eaters.
We're pork eaters,
We
and I
love it,
know
and
a
we're-
lot of people have very strong feelings
Yeah.
about that. And I've tried, you guys. I've tried
Alternatives.
alternative. And
No, we want the real deal.
we're from
Holyfield.
Omaha, and I just
Yeah.
need it. I need it in my life. I need it in my life. What else?
Okay.
What else?
So let's see. We've got 3 minutes. I love.
Oh wait, okay. So somebody said,
Oh.
what are some of the challenges in your marriage, and how do you overcome them?
there we go.
One of the biggest challenges is age difference. He brings a musical taste that is specific, and so do I. And I, like, everyone's like, oh, do you know such and such? I'm like, no, the last thing I bought was the best of the Whispers and the Spinners. So trying to find the compromises about music, about we had different upbringings, and trying to see each other's trauma not as a weakness, but as a common ground that we can not exploit in each other or poke, but to heal together. Yeah. And some of this is not the first rodeo. In the first marriage, again, thinking that you know everything, not wanting to apologize, not wanting to be accountable, not leading with yourself. Like, okay, I absolutely did this. And it's not about trying to make the other person your enemy or you're competing with that person. One of the things I learned in my first marriage during counseling was our therapist said, you guys are a team, and you have to work together. And if you think of each other as the competition and you want to win an argument, you're making your spouse a loser. And I was like, uh-huh. So that should have been a clue about where that was headed. So I took that rough life lesson of divorce, and I don't want to make D a loser. I want to make him my partner in winning as best we can on our terms at life. So,
all right. Maybe thank everybody because you got to go.
Okay. All right. So, thank you for watching Being Mary Jane. To all the Being Mary Jane people, I love that show. I love Mary Jane. Okay, they're telling me to wrap it up. So, I love you, and thank you for loving pork, Roxanne. Shout out to New Mexico. Hey, whoop whoop. Freddie Prinze Jr., home of Freddie Prinze Jr.
South Africa was on here.
Pork tacos and whoop whoop. South Africa. Everybody knows I've been to South Africa many times. I love South Africa. Ghana, whoop whoop. What up? Tanzania, Kenya, Egypt. Yay. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. I just appreciate everyone who has supported me, not just in this book, but in life, and who's given me grace, because I'm no version of perfect. And for every time I misstepped and every time I've said the wrong thing or made a joke about some shit that just wasn't funny, I am truly, truly sorry. And I appreciate your grace. And I just thank you guys. And all my family, dozens of cousins out there on the Union side, on the Bryant Fisher side, and my glasses, and all my aunts and cousins and everybody else who's out there. I love you guys. Go Big Red. Oh, Tracy, you got to say goodbye.
Oh, bye guys. Thanks for letting me be the moderator.
Bye.